What's good, YouTube? It's Justice Ace DVP, and today I'm back with another video. And in this video, I'm going to talk about the fact that everyone just kind of moved on from the Pink Tape. The Pink Tape by Lil Uzi Vert was one of the biggest hip-hop releases of the year, probably in like the top 3, top 5. And it was something that was anticipated for a very long time. It's been one of the most anticipated albums in general of the decade. Now, the decade's only a couple years old, but still, one of the most anticipated albums of the decade since the release of Eternal Take back in 2020. And that little 3-year gap, people have just been really excited to hear what the Pink Tape would sound like. And you pretty much already know how it goes with artists like Cardi, Uzi. There's years of leaks and release dates that are rumored, then pushed back, and snippets on Instagram Live, and all of that type of stuff until the album eventually came out. And there was a lot of hype for this album. It wasn't like the type of hype that we saw with Eternal Take back in 2020, but still, there was a lot of hype. The project came out, it was a splash all over social media, it was talked about, it sold about 160 first week, or 160K, not 160, 160K. But after that first week, maybe week and a half, everyone just kind of moved on from the project. And it's important to understand the era that we live in. Everything is so much faster in this modern era. There's so many different options for music that, sometimes music just gets moved on from. That just happens because we're consuming so much of everything every single day that sometimes things don't stay as long as they used to. But when it comes to an artist like an Uzi or a Travis or a Cardi, typically their albums tend to last pretty long in the public light. But for some reason, the Pink Tape was literally here today and gone the next day. There wasn't a whole bunch of long discussions about the album. There wasn't a whole bunch of big debates. There wasn't a whole bunch of lyrical breakdowns. There weren't a whole bunch of comparisons with other albums. For the most part, this album, after its first week or 2 weeks, just was kind of forgotten. And even if you look down the line in terms of a lyrical breakdown, there wasn't really a whole bunch of that. Even though, you don't think of lyrics necessarily when you think of Uzi, even though Uzi is a pretty good lyrically sound artist. There were no lyrical breakdowns. What did this mean? Was he beefing with who? There wasn't really a whole bunch of that going on. There was to a certain extent, but still. And with an album this big, for there to be not that many discussions about it is kind of strange. And even when it comes to other albums and comparing it to other albums, there weren't a whole lot of Pink Tape versus Utopia talks. There were some, but there wasn't a lot. There weren't a whole bunch of album of the year talks for the Pink Tape after its first week or two. There was initially, but after the first week or two, those discussions pretty much stopped. And there was literally no comparisons between For All the Dogs and the Pink Tape. And I know Uzi and Drake, you necessarily don't always compare them, but in terms of talking about rap album of the year, there weren't a whole bunch of comparisons to For All the Dogs and Utopia or even A Gift and a Curse by Gunna. For the most part, the Pink Tape was just kind of pushed to the side, even though, again, maybe it wasn't album of the year or worthy of that debate, but at least most people would compare a big album like that from Uzi to other artists' album, and you just didn't really see that. You didn't see that for the albums that really came before it, and you definitely didn't see that for the albums that came a long time after it. For the most part, a lot of the discussion surrounding the Pink Tape was just oh yeah, that album was pretty good, Uzi tried some rock in there too, it was alright. That was pretty much the end of it. But a major reason, in my opinion, as to why a lot of people moved on from the Pink Tape really fast is because Uzi himself seemed to move on from the Pink Tape very fast. It was almost immediately after dropping the Pink Tape, Uzi jumped into a whole new aesthetic and was doing the whole Young Thug cosplay about to drop Barter 16. Uzi didn't really give the album a lot of time to sit on his fans. It was just you guys get a week or two of the Pink Tape, but as soon as the Pink Tape came out, I want to say it was 6 days later or something like that, Uzi already was dressing up like Young Thug and acting like Uzi was about to drop the Barter 16, which kind of made the fan base go, oh, okay, I guess we're doing something else now. Let's get excited for this. Barter 16, okay. It'll be interesting to see what Uzi does when he kind of does a rendition of Young Thug's rendition of Lil Wayne's albums. So it'll be interesting or whatever. So they were just getting kind of excited for the Barter 16 and kind of okay, I guess we're done with the Pink Tape. That phase is over. And again, Uzi moved on so quickly. There is not a single music video for any of the songs released on the Pink Tape that were released with the Pink Tape. Some of the stuff before has music videos, but all the stuff that came out with the Pink Tape has no music videos. And that's very weird. I've never really seen that from a major artist to have such a big blockbuster release, their first release in 3 years in terms of an album, and for there to be no music videos it's just really strange. It just shows that this album was just kind of dropped and then moved on from. Uzi then talked about Love is Rage 3 potentially coming out, and again, was just pushing the focus further and further from the Pink Tape. It was really strange. I've never really seen an artist do this. Like, typically when an artist like Uzi drops an album, especially after like a couple of years wait, everything is about that album leading up to it, and everything in the immediate future after is about that album. Like, they're talking about it, they're doing interviews leading up to it, they drop the album, then they're asking their fans what you think. Are you guys ready for a tour? Are you guys ready for this? What do you think? Pink Tape Deluxe, what's your favorite song? What's your favorite 3-run album stretch? Whatever. Like, they'll just say anything. They'll do anything to try to get people to continue to talk about their project. But with Uzi, it was like, hey, let's do something else. Hey, you guys ready to do something else? Well, hey, I have something else on the way. It was just really strange, especially because those things never even actually came out. So essentially, Uzi had the Pink Tape there, dropped it, let it do its thing for like a couple days, then started teasing other stuff, which took the fans' mind off of the Pink Tape. But those things never came. So now the fans not thinking about the stuff that never came, but also they're definitely not thinking about the Pink Tape because that's old news. You already promised us 2 new projects. Why would I still be thinking about this? And I don't really know why it seemed that Uzi wanted to move on so fast after the Pink Tape. This is just speculation, but maybe he just wasn't really satisfied with the product he put out. I have no idea. It just doesn't really make a lot of sense as to why Uzi would want to move on so fast from something that took, at least I would assume, it took a very long time to put together, especially because it's been so long since your first album or the album previous to it. Like, I'm sure Uzi worked extremely hard on this project, so it just feels kind of weird to see him move on from it. And obviously, if Uzi's going to move on from it, the fans are definitely going to move on from it. Even with the tour for the Pink Tape, like, it wasn't like Uzi tried to make this a big deal. It wasn't like Uzi was like, oh my God, I'm trying to make this the biggest tour in America. It was almost like he toured in secrecy. Like, honestly, a lot of people probably didn't even know that Uzi went on tour for this album. It wasn't like Uzi was on Instagram after every city, like, LA, I love y'all. Great show. Can't wait to be back. I'll be back soon. Dallas, what a crazy crowd. Y'all was lit the whole night. I love y'all so much. Atlanta, thank you for the show. Thank you for the hospitality. I love the South. Like, even that little stuff that you typically see artists do, like Drake was doing that in every city. Rod Wave's been doing that in every city. But with Uzi, there's nothing on that Instagram about the tour besides one post. It's not like Uzi's trying to blow the spot up. Like, even if you look up the tour, like, there's no little graphic for the tour. Like, you know how when artists post a tour, there's like a graphic and it has like, you know, whatever artwork that is related to them. And then it has the city, the date, and the arena. That doesn't exist for the Pink Tape. I literally looked it up on the internet, not even just on Instagram. And there's no like little graphic. Like, everything about this album after it released was kind of like, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. Let's get it out of here. I don't really know why either. I really don't, because I enjoyed the project. Like, it wasn't the best rap album of the year or the best album of the year, but it was one of my favorites. It was probably in my top 5. So I don't really understand why everyone really moved on from it so fast. Like, the fans, okay, fans can be fickle. You know, they do their thing one minute, then they're on a new wave the next. Like, I get that. Fans can be kind of fair weather. That's understandable. But to see Uzi himself move on from it so fast, it's just really weird. I really don't know why. I really don't know why. Because I like the album, from the traditional trap sounding stuff to the rock metal stuff to the J metal stuff to the WWE stuff. Like, I like the album a lot. So it's just really weird to see everyone kind of hurrying up and putting their stuff in their bags before the bell rings, like you do when you're in class. Like, it's just really weird to see everyone getting ready to move on from this so quickly when I thought it was really good. I don't really know why. I don't really know why specifically Uzi moved on from it so fast, but just overall, I think this album is a little underappreciated. And I think it'll go underappreciated, especially in the next coming years, because it's a good project. It really is. So I don't really know why this is really strange, but I thought I should be the one to point it out that, like, yo, we moved on from the Pink Tape awful quick. Like, obviously, other big artists dropped. Uzi dropped, Travis dropped, Drake dropped, Nicki Minaj is about to drop. Like, I get it. Other big artists have been dropping and are about to drop, but still, a project from Uzi typically isn't one that we all just collectively move on from in like 2 weeks. But who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like down below. I greatly appreciate it. It helps me out a ton. Have a great day. Be safe. Be blessed. Peace.